This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
Hello, all. Here's for another mini episode for you about a franchise you can avoid. But if you've seen some of your favorite bad movie podcasts and other infamous film blogs cover it, you probably want someone else to talk about some of these movies because that's exactly what these are for. These are for people who like making fun of bad movies. So, before the Asylum really took off and started becoming the SyFy Channel produced, and this is one of their early efforts. They decided to do a slasher film franchise that had a Killer Scarecrow. You do not have to watch any of them in order. This is before the Asylum really becomes the Asylum, where they're trying to, rip off movies that are out now and make people mistake these for being, the actual movie. So no bait and switch here, nothing mysterious. Most of these are very tolerable and watchable. So I applaud them on that instance. Nonetheless, they are still extremely trashy, and I'm just going to get into the basics. So David Michael Latt, who's done a lot of B movies before and after the Asylum. I think he was one of the guys who worked with them. Again, so these were made from 2002 to 2004. I would always see at least one of them at a video store or a used thrift store, mom and pop rental. It was that kind of movie. All kinds of actors were in these. And the first one, Richard Elfman, that's right, Danny Elfman's brother from Oingo Boingo, was in there. And Scream Queen herself, who's become bigger thanks to co-starring on 12 Monkeys and Picard. Tiffany Shepis, this was one of her first roles. She's, been a very regular B-movie actress who's been pretty well liked because she slowly started appearing in projects that were bigger budget, more respectable, and again, she can play a tough gal, she can play a cop, she can be a doctor, she can be whatever. And she is just, I applaud her for continually just making entrances into all kinds of genre fare and just being a solid actress who can, even if your production is not where it needs to be, she can amp it up. There were also plenty of other actors in the first one, including Belinda Gobbin, who you can find on Instagram, who was a Skinamax regular, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And the first one went surprisingly pretty fast. Again, most of these you can find on YouTube or Tubi. They're those kinds of movies. Bargain bin, $5 Walmart checkout type stuff. Movie 2 had Tony Todd as a farmer basically obsessed with destroying the Scarecrow, and it had tons of explosions. It had a bunch of other voice actors, including DC Douglas, who's, if you look him up, he's been on a bunch of voiceovers, including JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the Mass Effect films, various Star Trek voiceover roles and acting, as well as other stuff for the Asylum and soap opera acting. But you will recognize his voice. Like, it is one of those, you've heard it in commercials, Super Bowl ads. He did his job, and since he's a regular in these cheesy movies, that's why he's here. Most of the time, they would often package both Scarecrow and Scarecrow Slayer, the second one, together. overall, yeah, I like this one way better. It just got into the trashiness way faster. And then the last one was Scarecrow Gone Wild, which is basically the Scarecrow picks on people at spring break, and it's making fun of the then infamous Girls Gone Wild.
What the fuck?
So yeah, they're going after sleazy people and topless chicks and all that. It doesn't deliver near as much skin as you would think. It is also notable for I totally missed this when watching it just because it's just not that kind of an interesting movie, but it had MMA fighter and retired wrestler Ken Shamrock in an appearance, as well as the film debut of Olivia Munn. So I learned something every day. I had not a clue. So yeah, Miss Daily Show Magic Mike actress was in one of these stupid movies. Well, I'm sure she has a funny story about it if someone asked her. Once again, these are worthwhile. They were distributed for the most part by York Entertainment and some of those other uh, direct-to-video companies. But yeah, the Asylum mainly self-produced the first two. Then a few years later in 06, 07, that's when they were like, we got to make fun of every other blockbuster apocalyptic movie. You know, just like everybody's ripping off Die Hard or Scream. Let's do our own take on Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and War of the Worlds, and it got to be very annoying really fast. But yeah, if you're going to watch these, definitely find them on streaming. Have a laugh. You might be surprisingly entertained by movie number 2. But yeah, I will give them an applause though. Like, I prefer this era of the Asylum where they were just buying low budget movies before doing their whole we gotta have ridiculously titled movies that sound almost like the real thing, that, you know, it's like a reverse psychology, like a trashier Roger Corman, if you will. And I was in the audience, but I understand it. I get that B-D movies all vary by crowd. But yeah, movie 2's Scarecrow Slayer was probably the most entertaining of this bunch. And if you're going to check them out, if you like other just movies that are both deliberately funny and unintentionally funny, this is that kind of franchise. So if you're done with Wishmaster, if you've seen all the Leprechauns, this is that kind of movie that you might seek out and have a amusing laugh with other action horror B-movie fans. So have fun.
We'll return after these messages.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, give it up, Jimmy, you gotta sink this putt to win. On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and foodie debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in, it's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening. It's a jacked up